Hey everyone out there in Twitch land, it's Doc, aka GamerSeuss, again with the GamerSeuss Twitch channel. Today we're going to be doing tips for new players in Fractured Online. For those who don't know, Fractured came out for Kickstarter in about 2016-17, and there was several backings, but it's been offline for a little while. They've been doing some work on a new backend for the server and everything, but it's back up for a stress test starting yesterday. And so today I'm doing a walkthrough of the tutorial island. And I'll go through character creation and the tutorial island with you. And I'm going to use my backup account for this. And we'll go ahead and get started. Just to remind everybody, all my channel is dedicated to Extra Life, part of the Children's Miracle Network, which helps kids with long-term chronic conditions in the hospital. That's cerebral palsy, cancer, end-stage renal disease, things like that. Extra Life is a charity by streamers for the kids, where we provide monies that go towards research, specialized equipment to possibly allow the kids to go home from the hospital, so they don't necessarily have to be away from their families. It also provides puzzles, board games, consoles, and things to allow them to be more like kids. Half of everything that I make through subscriptions, bits, anything like that, any advertising, promotional stuff that might kick back to me, all half of that right off the top, rounded up, goes to Extra Life. So that means if you have, like, for instance, a free Prime subscription that you can give out once a month, because if you're a member of Prime, uh, Amazon Prime, you get one per month, at least in the US. So half of that subscription value would go to Extra Life, and I would get the other half, and the other half just goes to pay for my channel maintenance. So if I need to get like a monitor that goes out, or a new microphone, or to pay software registration fees, or anything like that, actually more comes out of my pocket than I actually make from the channel currently. But it, regardless of that, half of everything rounded up off the top goes to Extra Life. So even if I pay out of my pocket for my own stuff more, the rest goes to Extra Life. And so, and if you want to give directly to Extra Life, type exclamation Extra Life in my chat channel. If you're on Twitch, and if the bot is active, then he will share a link to my Extra Life account. That's another way you can give directly to Extra Life through my Extra Life fundraiser. Or you can go to extralife.org and just directly start your own campaign or support them that way. Anyway, we're going to start by making a new character so we can go through the whole process. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it on so you can actually see the fractured screen. We're on the new character screen. I'm going to go ahead and make a human. Let's go next. There's male human. We're going to make a female human since I have a male already. The other one on this account is also female, but since I've not actually played her, I had just started the tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and start over. So we're going to turn her sideways so I can see the hairstyle. I like to go to like something like that. I don't care about the face. I like a little bit darker complected, a lot darker hair color, and that's good. Next, background selection. The last one I did, I went ahead and made a druid, was the other female. But you know what? And I'm using an aeromancer on my main account. So let's go ahead and do a pyromancer here. I like to do spellcasters myself, and pyromancer also gets relocate. Pyromancer and cryomancer do, and the cryomancer, from what I understand, is having a few difficulties right now. So we're going to go ahead and go with the pyromancer, which is of course a fire attribute. We're going to go ahead and leave everything on the default selection for attributes, and we're going to give it a nice name. Alessandra. Let's try Alessandra in that spelling and see if it'll work. And it worked. Okay, we're going to go in Alessandra. It's a human, and we're going to go ahead and hit play. That's going to start us on the tutorial island. Now, I started to do this video before, and it was going really slow. And I'd also forgotten to switch the screen over so everybody could see what I was doing. So I restarted, but hopefully it'll go faster this time. Okay, we can hear the sound. I'm going to turn the music down just a little bit so that we can go into the settings, audio. I'm just going to turn the music down because we don't need to hear all of that music as much. But I do want to hear the ambient sounds and the sound effects. I just don't want to have heavy music. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, and we're going to start it in the camp area. As you can see, and I just hit escape to bring up the options there. It does say for your first quest, rest at the bonfire in one of the encampments. Well, you start off in an encampment, so I'm going to, and it's click to move. So I'm going to go to the bonfire, and with the kneeling button, I'm going to rest the bonfire. See, it's running through, and it's thinking. And now you got your skills and abilities bar. And this one doesn't really let you move it, but you can see here that the next one is save an ability preset containing firebolt, burning pillar, explosion, relocate, minor healing, and mage armor, which it should be the top 5 on the preset. So this is the ability presets. These are the talents, which we'll get to later in the tutorial. And the abilities, you hit plus, and it should always be the top 5 or 6 abilities. In this case, yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Oh, relocate didn't go in. There we go. 6 abilities. Pyromancer, so we get 6. So I'm going to just call this basic, because that's what I usually call the first one. And since the Pyromancer type, I'm going to put one of the fire emblems as its emblem by holding down the control key and clicking on it. These numbers here say how many memory slots it takes up for these abilities. Anything that takes 1 memory slot is a cantrip. So these 4 are cantrips. And then the tier 2 spells are the pillar and the explosion spells. But everybody has room for 15 memory slots. It used to be based on intelligence, but now everybody just has a flat 15 memory slots. And then you just got to go save preset, and then you have to click on the preset to highlight it and hit memorize. You can only do this at a campfire or at a fireplace in town. Let's see, a moment of peace has now been completed. Next quest is healing provisions. It wants you to gather 6 plant fibers and craft linen weave, which you can then turn into linen bandages. Now, if you remember from the old tutorial, first let me go ahead and assign these things. I'm going to put my mage armor there. I'm going to put my healing there. Relocate as a utility, so I'll put it there. Firebolt is a primary attack. Pillars secondary attack, and explosion tertiary attack. So those are where I'm going to put them. These actually correspond to the Q, W, E, and R buttons, and then the Q, W, E, R, and T, and then D, F, and G. So the row right under the 1, 2, 3, 4 on your standard QWERTY keyboard, and 3 buttons under that, D, F, and G. Usually pretty easy to just rest your hand on those. Now I'm set to quick cast. Now, as I was saying before, if you had done the previous tutorial, you knew that the plant fibers were really quick to find inside the little encampment. Now you have to actually leave the encampment, but you still just find some flax and go, and of course you get some discovery knowledge points for this. Now, knowledge points, unlike in the previous versions of the game, are not spent. They now are used to accumulate in order to gain rank in the game. And once you get sufficient knowledge points, then you get enough ranks to have the talents and skills needed. So, like every time you find something new, you're going to get some knowledge points. And I'm going to bring up the book of knowledge that shows, like, here's all the creatures. Obviously, I have not fought any creatures yet, but here's some of the resources I've picked up. I've picked up flax, and I've picked up penny buns so far. And so it shows me an image of what I picked up. Basically, with flax, it shows a picture of plant fibers. Penny buns shows penny bun mushrooms. Then, of course, there's your skill level with making armor and your skill level with making weapons. And that's all that's in your book of knowledge. And my total number of knowledge points right there. Now, if I was to go into my skills and abilities tab where I would set my presets up, which of course, like I said, you have to do at a campfire. I could also click on rank, and it tells me what rank I am now and how much knowledge points I need to go up in rank. Once you go up in rank, you get more talent points, and that's the big thing here. Your talent points are accumulated now by rank. Also, if you see, each of the schools of abilities now have a level tracker here. New thing they've added in the game is orbs, which you won't get in the tutorial island. So I really don't need to cover that too much now. But with orbs, you can increase entire schools of knowledge by spending orbs. And basically, according to the developer, you start with level 0 in a school. Level 10, the maximum you can get in a school, is roughly twice as powerful as level 0. So it's not a huge leap, but it is a good leap overall. So it does show some bit of advancement, but I thought I should cover that. We have 5 out of 6 flax, so we do need at least one more flax in order to complete the quest. It's variable how many you get. You usually get between 2 and 4 for each flax plant. I'm going to do an extra one just in case. We're over 6 though. And then I'm going to go to my crafting menu, which is, I believe, in this game. Yes, you can also click down here. I typically do not use the keyboard shortcut. I just click down here. So the little cross hammer and pickaxe is your crafting menu. And some things you can craft directly on your person, and other things you got to craft at stations or different buildings. In this case, the linen weave can be just crafted on yourself. It's a rough or primitive craft, and we need to craft a total of 6. And hit craft. I could have hit craft all, but that would have done all 12. And sometimes I might want to make some rope and stuff too. So we're going to start off with making just 6 linen weave. Then we're going to go down to these tabs on the side. As you can see, you've got your materials and components, your armor, your tools and weapons, your consumables, and your trinkets. And in this case, we want consumables because linen bandages are consumable health items. As you can see, if you hover over it, it gives you health regeneration of 2 times whatever your constitution score is for 10 seconds. So twice your constitution is restored in hit points and it's per second for 10 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and craft all, because 6, it takes 2 for each batch, and each batch is going to create 10. So that's going to give me the 30 I need for the quest. So now I have 30 bandages. And as you see, I left a spot right here under R, because that's what I'm going to put bandages under. They're not really as much an in-combat feature as they used to be. Of course, they did an immediate heal and then kind of cool down and then immediate heal again. Now they're more of a regenerative heal, so they're better out of combat. But it can help if you hit it early enough on. Now, the next thing it wants you to do is grab their 2 branches and craft rope, which is what you need plant fibers for, in order to craft a primitive mage staff. So go onto any tree. You can In the tutorial island, you just click on it and it'll start gathering branches. In the regular island, it'll give you a choice between gathering branches and chopping the tree down, but we don't even have an axe right now, so we couldn't chop the tree down. So you don't chop trees down in tutorial island. But we gathered some branches. We needed at least 2. So we now should be able to go into our crafting menu and craft the primitive mage staff, which is under tools and weapons. Second to the bottom, primitive mage staff. As you can see, it takes 2 branches and it also takes a rope. So let's go back over to materials and components, go to rope and make a rope real quick. Then we can go to weapons, primitive mage staff, craft us a primitive mage staff. Now, while we're at it, I have not picked up stones yet, but I think I don't see any stones on the ground here yet. We're quite a bit away from stones here. There's a stone. I'm picking up a stone because while we're at it, I'm also going to go ahead and build an axe, which needs another rope. Now, this isn't part of the tutorial, but it's a good thing to craft just because when you leave the tutorial island, they're going to give you a hammer, but they're not going to give you an axe. But if you make the axe and then put it in your backup weapon slot, then anything you have equipped will go with you from tutorial island. Anything else in your inventory does not, but they give you certain basics. Like, okay, as you look right now, we're going to equip our mage staff by just dragging it over the center portal. And that puts it in the main slot. And we're going to put the axe over here in the secondary slot. Or, you know, the tertiary slot is where it dropped into. I actually tried to put it in the second, but that's fine. If you hit tab, you'll rotate through these slots. But also by putting it there, I can be used to like chop down trees. But the mage staff is the thing that I'm going to be primarily using. These are your equipment spaces. So you got a helm, the hand slot, the body slot, the leg slot, the trinket slot, the ring slot, which is not currently used, and then this is your mount slot. This is where your horse will go when you get one. So we're going to go ahead and get out of that and go back to the tutorial. And the next thing it's going to ask you to do is kill 5 wolves and create a wolf teeth necklace, which is one of the trinkets. As you can see, there's some wolves around us. So I'm going to go ahead and start off. First off, I'm going to go ahead and cast my mage armor because it's a very valuable defensive spell. Then I'm going to take and target one of these wolves with my firebolt spell. And then I'm going to hit him with the pillar. And as you can see, I've discovered the wolf. And now if you click on him, you can then right click to gather all his stuff. And you got to kill 5 of these. So I'm using my different abilities and killing the wolves. Got 3 more to kill. I'm going to grab another stone right now too, just in case. There we go. As you can see, I'm not really getting hurt. And right-clicking uses just the staff's default attack. I got 1 more wolf to kill and then I'll have 100%. But you see I'm already at rank 2. So I've got more talent points allocated. Or that can be allocated. I've not done that yet because it's not in that part of the tutorial yet. And that finishes the wolf part of the tutorial as far as killing wolves. But now I have to craft a wolf tooth necklace. So again, let's go to craft. First off, I'm going to need rope again. I'm going to make 1 rope. That's why I'm doing the extra plant fibers. Now I'm going to go down to the trinket set and make a wolf teeth necklace. It takes 5 wolf teeth, which we have at least 5, and craft. And the wolf tooth necklace gives you crit chance of 2.5% bonus. in my play style, it's not the best one to have, but right now it's the only one I've got the option for. So we're going to go ahead and drag the necklace onto our portrait, which will pop it into the trinket slot. Next, it's going to tell us to go to the village on the other side of the river and craft roasted wolf meat. We've got wolf meat in our inventory. We just have to roast it. I like to keep my sticks there, my sticks and stones down there in the corner. Just it's how I like to organize things. And I like to keep food down here, cooked or not. So if you hit M to turn on your map, you will see that we are right here, and we need to get to this blue Stargate. It's right above the green star, which is the town we need to go to. We don't want to go through the Stargate yet, because you do that when you're finished. But that's your map, but it shows you that there's pretty basically a path. And if we go up this way, we don't have to do any more wolves because we are at 100%. If you go to your Book of Knowledge, go to Wolves Tutorial 100%. You will get nothing else for wolves now except for, more of their loot. But you will get no more knowledge points for those wolves. Tutorial wolves are just 100%. One of the things you do want to do in the tutorial, and I warn everybody about this, is make sure that you 100% all the strictly tutorial mobs. That means the bandit, all 4 types of bandits, and the wolves. Don't worry about 100%ing the rabbits, because there are rabbits in tutorial, but you really don't want to waste your time killing rabbits because they have a rare drop of a rabbit's foot, which, yes, you could make the rabbit's foot trinket with and take it with you if you're wearing it. But the rabbit's foot is actually better as a alchemical reagent for enchanting items, and you can't turn it back from a trinket to the rabbit's foot, so there's no way to bring it from Tutorial Island to use. Now we have to run everywhere because there are no horses on Tutorial Island, but as you can see, we're coming up on the bridge right now. I like gathering a couple things along the way. Anytime you see a new plant, try to pick from it because you're going to get experience or knowledge points as this game uses. So we're over the bridge. Now we need to go to, see, there's one of the rabbits, but I'm not going to kill the rabbit because, well, I might kill one just to see, but knowing my luck, if I kill the one rabbit, it will end up having a rabbit's foot. Yeah, yep, it did. But that's okay, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and make the rabbit's paw necklace because I like the rabbit's paw necklace. And since I can't save it to use as a reagent, I might as well make the rabbit's paw necklace, which is, to me, the luck bonus is better than the crit chance. So I'm going to go to the trinkets. I'm going to go to rabbit's paw amulet, and I'm going to craft that. And now I have a rabbit's paw amulet to put on instead of the wolf teeth amulet. It means I'm going to lose my wolf teeth amulet, but I now have a rabbit's paw. The other thing I could do with the rabbit, if I wanted to, is I could gather enough rabbit fiber to make rabbit cloth armor instead of the default armor that it's going to have me make. But that's a lot of rabbits and even more potentially wasted rabbit's paws. So I'm going to go into the tavern, where it told me to go. I'm going to go to the fireplace. I'm going to click on it. This time I'm going to the cauldron to cook. And we're going down to roasted wolf meat. And as you can see, I can roast 5, which is what I need. So I'm going to hit it, roast all, which is going to finish that last part of the tutorial for this this stage of the tutorial, I should say. We still have more to go. Now I have the wolf meat. And while I'm at it, since I have it, I'm going to go ahead and roast the piece of rabbit that I got too. And the first one I eat will probably be the rabbit, since it's not going to go with me anyway. Now it does tell me to craft 20 linen weave in order to make common clothes. Now, if you go into the crafting menu, you can see under armor, you can make common clothes, common boots, common bracers, and common hood. The only thing it tells you to make is the clothes. And if you click on here, it'll show you the different types of fabric you can make it out of. But it wants you to make it out of linen weave initially. I could make it out of cotton cloth. I could make it out of wool cloth, which is what you get off of the rabbits. I could make it out of silk cloth, which is what you get out of spiders. There's primal weave, which you'll find on Terra, the beastkin planet. Ghastly silk fiber from ghastly spiders, the undead spiders. Termidian silk from Termidians on the wild folk planet. And mammoth wool cloth that's from woolly mammoths on Erin, the human planet. All are possible. But we're going to keep it on linen weave. We do not have enough plant fibers. I believe we have how many? We have 6. So we do need to get more plant fibers, because we need 20 in order to make that. And we really need 50 in order to get a full set of armor. Now, mostly you're going to get plant fibers from flax. So you're going to go around and find the flax plants and harvest until you got, a good 20. Oh wait, here's a flax plant. Let's see, can I get into that little yard? Because there's a lot of flax in that yard. That would be helpful. Yes, I can. Good. Let's see, get the flax. Just the flax, ma'am, just the flax. Old Car 54 humor. I'm just going to go ahead and grab all of the plants. That should give me more than 20. I don't know if it'll give me 50. I might have to go another circuit. As you see, flax in the tutorial island regenerates very fast. In the actual outside of the tutorial island, the stuff like this does not regenerate that fast. Now, if we look at our equipment, we now have 34. We do need a little bit more because I'm going to make more than the minimum armor. I'm going to make all the pieces of common armor. So I need a total of 50 to do that, because it's 20 for the body piece and then 10 for each the head, hands, and feet. That one right there didn't give any, and that one didn't give any, which is why they didn't go away. Sometimes they'll give none. It's only flax that I've found that does that, but there might be others that do that sometimes. Let's see what we've got now. Going around the thing again. We've got 43. We still need at least 7 more. See, now they're not giving again. Might have to go out to a different plant. Yeah. These don't want to give again. That's okay. We're going to go over to this plant. And it does that, I think, so that you can't just sit and only get it from a couple of plants. They want you to move around a little bit. What's that? Potato plant. That's another new discovery. Also, if you pick from different kinds of trees, you're going to discover the different trees. That's like I already had that kind of tree. Oh, nope, red maple tree. There we go. Couldn't remember what the other tree was that I picked from. We'll always get small stones. There's another flax plant right there. now we've got 47. We need 3 more flax. Do we see any more flax around the edges here? Another potato plant. Sometimes random plants will also give plant fibers, but potato plant is obviously not one of them. See if this flax will give again. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. Gave us 4 more. I think we're over 50 now. Yep, 51. Okay, we're going to go to the tavern. Back to the tavern. Or I'm sorry, we're not going to the tavern. I don't know why it's at the tavern. We're now going to go to the weaving station. Now I could do this in my own inventory, but I believe this one wants you to do it in the weaving station. And so we're looking for the green. Here we go. Green star brings us to the weaving stations. If we go to the weaving station over here, we're going to turn this into linen weave. And we're going to go ahead and turn 50 of them. I want 1 left over in case I need another rope for some. I don't think I do, but just in case. Craft. So I'm going to craft my 50 linen weave. Stretch. Hydrate a little bit. Now, a good idea is to also keep track up here in the corner. You've got your satiety, or how much food you've eaten. It's got a little rabbit symbol on it. When that gets low, if it gets into the red, you'll start taking damage if you don't eat. So you got to make sure to eat. Then you have your energy bar. Once your energy gets really low, you can't do hardly anything. You slow down, and a lot of your abilities don't work. You've got your mana, which is your blue bar down at the bottom. That's what powers your skills. And then you got your health, which is your red bar. The healthier you are, the more hits you can take. And then, of course, down here you've got various buffs, debuffs. You know, like right now it says I'm rested, I'm sated, and I'm on a road, which means I move faster. I've done my 20 weaves, so now I'm going to go over to the weaving station, the tailoring bench, and it also makes, now you can make more advanced clothing on the tailoring bench, but as you see, there's other requirements other than just the cloths, and you also need to have the recipe for those, which you don't get until you're on the mainland. But we're going to do the common clothes, make 1, which is going to finish the quest. And then we're going to go ahead and make common hood, which is not part of the quest. Common boots. And common bracers. And that uses up all 50 of the linen weave that we started with. If you were to play one of the melee classes, you would be making hide armor instead of making common cloth armor, because they're heavier combat classes. Open up a character portrait by hitting the shield. In case I didn't say that before, I think you can also hit C to open it, and then you can drag the pieces of armor on. So I'll put my bracers on, my body armor, my head armor, and my footwear. And then I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of this tattered cloth by just dragging it off into nowhere and destroy. Now, move my food back here. And as you can see, my food is about 1/3 down. So I'm going to right click on that rabbit to eat it, and it filled my food right up. I could have also done that with potatoes. And I might do that with the potatoes before I'm done. Now, sticks and stones are important because you need them to build campfires. You need 5 sticks and 10 stones to build a campfire. And that's how you heal and rejuvenate your energy in the wild. However, anytime you take gray damage or purple damage, it kind of looks purplish gray on your red bar. Every time you get knocked unconscious, you'll lose a little bit of your permanent health. And the only way to bring that back is to go into a settlement or town and rest at a fire there. It will not work in the wild. But the new quest is to go into the mountains and search the bandit camp north of the village. So we want to go north of the village. And again, we can look at the map by hitting M. And we're here. And we want to go up here into the camp area. And you can zoom in a little bit. And you can zoom out a little bit if you'd like. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of zoom. You can also center the map on your character by clicking that button. And in the main area, you can show territories and kingdoms. But hit F to get out. You can also click this button to open up the map. Oh, wait, is it that? Or is it, no, not that button. That button. Yeah, that button to open the map. So this button actually turns on and off your coordinates. And I don't remember what this one does. I don't think it really does anything right now. I think it used to do something, but I don't really think it does anymore. So we need more stones so we can build that campfire. There's another bunny rabbit, but of course we don't want to chase all the bunny rabbits. But we need more stones because we eventually need 10. See, and we're going up into the mountain area. See, now we're in the mountain area. Now it's bounty hunting. They want us to kill 5 bandit sorcerers. Each different starting archetype has a different bandit to target and kill. Ours is the sorcerers because we're one of the mancers or one of the mages. There's also a cutthroat, a brawler, and a swordsman, and an archer. Well, it's a cutthroat, a brawler, and an archer, I believe, is the specific ones. There are a total of 4 of them, and you might as well kill 5 of each. See, now there's a sorcerer. So I'm going to start off making sure my mage armor's on again, and then I'm going to hit him with that, followed by explosion, followed by pillar. And that pillar of fire is great. And then you can go ahead and loot them. Now I've gotten 1 of the 5. And I got some knowledge points. And I learned the ability Magic Missile, but it's not time to do it yet. See, now there's the brawler. So I've done 1 brawler and 1 sorcerer. This should be, I believe it's an archer. The brawler gave me nimbleness. The archer gives me, I think it's twin shot. It's going to give me it here in a second. It's double shot, yeah. And then this will be the final one, which should be the swordsman. And the swordsman will give me another ability, Shockwave. Now you're not going to, you automatically learn them all. You don't have to spend points on them anymore. Now when you discover them, you learn them. But you still accumulate them. Let's see, should there be another mage over here somewhere? Yep. No, that's another archer. Let's see. I want another mage because the sorcerers I have to kill specifically. As you can see, let's see here. Oh, there's another mage. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. As you can see, it says my spells are on cooldown when I try to cast some of them, because each spell has a cooldown amount. And I'm low on mana now, so. Now, one of the things I can do is I can go over here to the side, and I can click on my crafting menu, go to blueprints, go to campfire, and if I've got enough sticks and stones, I can make a campfire. I think I picked up enough stones. Let's see. It's not staying long enough for me to see. It used to hover over so you could see how many you need. It looks like I'm 2 stones short, so I need to find 2 stones. There's a stone. As we're doing this, we're also healing up a little bit, so I can do this. I'm rank 3 now. So guys, put one more stone in here. I think it still needs one more though. Oh no, maybe that one might have been enough. It might have been 9. Okay, good. We got the campfire, and I can rest at the campfire to restore some of my mana and all my health if I needed to. I'm not going to do that yet because I don't really need it right now. As you can see, other characters can use your campfire. So that's something to remember. Okay, done with the bandit archers. And I have one more sorcerer to kill. Done with the brawler. So I think I've got one more swordsman and one more sorcerer. Let's go ahead and kill this sorcerer. And I could double check. There's a sorcerer, which finishes that part of the tutorial. I got another swordsman I know, but first we can go ahead and go to the next part of the tutorial, which says to memorize the preset containing magic missile, which if you remember we just got from killing the sorcerer. The first sorcerer gave us that. So we rest here, go to the preset, click on the edit button, and add magic missile to the set. We still have enough memory slots, so I'm just going to add it and memorize it. Now I'm going to go ahead and put Magic Missile as my primary attack. Make Burning Pillar there. Move that there. Move that there. And take Magic Missile and put it in there as my first attack power. I still need to kill one more swordsman though to be done. I think it's one swordsman. I don't think that's going to give it to me because he had already done too much damage to it. But I think I need one more swordsman to complete everything. There we go. Now I've done 5 of each. Now you want you to do talents. So we're going to go back to our fire. Because now we got to set our talent presets. So go to the fire. And we're just about done with the tutorial. Because now we go into the talent presets. Now you don't have to spend, you just have the talent points. We have 4. Now as a spellcaster, it's most important for me to have mana. So I'm going to go ahead and throw all 4 of them on my energetic one, which each gives 75 mana. The other one I might have put it on was mana regen, and that's an option. And then since I went ahead and put it all in mana, I'm going to go ahead and take the mana symbol, and I'm going to call this one basic as well, just because, but you can name it what you like. And then you get a preset, then you make sure to click on it and memorize it so you get the full effect. Now you're one of many talents. The next thing it tells you to do is use the portal to leave the tutorial island. Now, it tells you to do that, but you don't have to do that. Excuse me. This is the end of the tutorial. If you go into your knowledge book, you'll see that you have 100% on everything in the tutorial except rabbits. But rabbits are out in the mainland, and they're better to kill there. You've killed all the tutorial wolves, and you've killed all the tutorial bandits. So you just go ahead. At this point, there's nothing else in the tutorial to grab, really. You've got about 4,000 KP. There's a little bit more. There's like blueberry, raspberry bushes you might come across in the tutorial island if you kept searching around. But they're not mandatory because you'll find them out in the wild elsewhere. It might be a good idea to make sure that you clicked on the different types of trees, just because some of the trees might be in different areas, just to get a few extra points. I've done pine trees already. You know, look around and see if there's anything else in the immediate vicinity. I mean, I know we already did penny buns, but it's not a bad idea to have extras. If you find like a raspberry or blueberry bush, something like that, you can click on it. But it's not super important. But at this point, you can leave the tutorial just by saying leave tutorial. And that pretty much finishes the tutorial. And at this point, if you're human, you will have the continent of Erin to go to. And if you are a beastkin, a wild folk, you will have the continent of Terra to go to right now. And you have the choice of either the north or the south location on the continent. I'm going to go ahead and go south and hit transfer, and that's going to move me to the mainland. And that actually finishes the tutorial walkthrough. If you have other questions or concerns, feel free to leave a comment under the video. I will be moving this over to YouTube for all of our friends so they can actually view and see how the tutorial goes. And this is how you start. And I might do a Wild Folk tutorial later on so you can see the slight differences. But Tutorial Island is basically the same for both. And you start in the middle of the starter town right next to the bank and the market. But that finishes you off. Again, remember, all my videos are dedicated to Extra Life. And this is also in support of Fractured Online, a up-and-coming MMORPG by Dynamite Studios. Like I said, in 2017-ish, it was Kickstarted. It has been on Steam. It was being published by Gamigo, but is no longer a Gamigo publication. It is being published currently by Dynamite Studios themselves until or unless they get a new publisher. But they are in development, so we are in beta. This is a stress test that goes till June 2nd. Unless they extend the time, it goes till June 2nd. There's been a lot of improvements to the game and a lot of changes to the game. Some will say are improvements and some of them will say changes, but there's been a ton of bug fixes. They had a private group going through, identified over like 300 bugs and got rid of them. So a lot of improvement has been done to the game. It's a lot smoother now, a lot to go through, and there are more archetypes, as you can see. You know, it used to be you only had the 4 basic archetypes, and before that only 2. Originally you only had the gladiator and the arcanist. Then they added in the street rat and the bowman. Now they've got, you know, the different types of arcanists as options. Aeromancer, cryomancer, pyromancer, and druid. So come check it out. Go to fracturedmmo.com and you can give it a try. The basic founder pack, the minimum in order to get involved with the beta is, I believe, $25 US or equivalent foreign currency. So come give it a try. And we'll see you next time with another Fractured Online video. As always, all my videos are moved over to my YouTube channel. If you just search GamerSeuss on YouTube, it'll bring it up. I've not got enough regular content over there yet to have a static IP, but like I said, just search GamerSeuss. It's GamerSeuss, just like the Twitch channel, and look in my Fractured or my Nostalgia Gaming playlist for Fractured content. You'll also find my Wild Terror 2 content there and other games that I've streamed. Thank you very much, and we'll catch you next time. Remember, may all your rolls be criticals, or if they're fumbles, may they be epic in the retelling. And in the immortal words of Stan Lee, God of Marvel Comics, Excelsior. Have a good day.